Hey there, Leanne here. Just wanted to show my pre-made backgrounds. They're handy when I go to crops and I need something fast and easy to get me started. So this one I had posted, so I finished it. And this is from Paige Evans from her old collections, 2 of the paper pads. And I still have lots of paper left, so I know that because this is Paige Evans, and if I need more, I can go to my paper pads and get more to add to this page. So that's the one. And if you see, I sewed with my new sewing machine, which is right there. I just got it. My other one died. So this was a, what do you call it? Die cut from the silhouette. And I just paper pieced with, and everything I'm using is scraps. So this was from the Paige Evans collection, but it was all scraps. It was papers that were already pulled out, and I trimmed them down to strips, and that's how I made this page. And that's how I do all these background pages, is from using my scraps. See, here's one big bag of scraps, and I have more in my cupboard. So this, I use scraps also to make that. And then I have, this is a double page layout. So I have this, and this was all scraps. I had made a mini album with all these papers here. And I used the scraps to make this background page. So that's going to be a double pager. And again, I sewed the strips. And these ones are a lot thinner because they were like major scraps. But it shows that you don't have to throw things out even though they're little thin strips like that. This was not scraps. This was just board in front of the TV. So this was a stitching cut from the silhouette. I'm not sure if this one's Paige Evans or if it's just one from the silhouette. I can't remember. But I stitched it with just a regular stitch. So that will be a background made if I want something to do with that. And here, this was a Paige Evans stitched background. And I couldn't figure out how to make it so that it would only give me one stitch. It ended up giving me 2 because it was a solid heart, and I didn't know how to make it into doing the little dots. But for some reason, because my line was so thick, it made a double dot little stitch. So I ended up having to stitch it, but I cut the paper in half because it was just taking too long and I didn't have the patience. And this was one of those loop stitches. And then I took more of that Paige Evans paper scraps that I had, and I did the stripes on this side. And I didn't sew down every single one, but I sewed down every kind of other one, and I added border punch. If the paper was wide enough and it could fit in my border punch, I added a few of those. This is kind of a take off of one of Paige's layouts. And then, of course, I sewed really crooked, and I don't know how, down the center. I don't know what I was doing. Maybe I had a few too many French vanillas with Baileys, maybe. But anyways, so I figured it out by making a butterfly garland, by stitching a bunch of butterflies together and then popping the garland on to the layout, and it kind of hides my very wonky stitching underneath. So that's another layout that I have ready, and it almost kind of could be a double page layout with this one if I really kind of wanted to, because they same paper line, right? So we'll see if I have enough photos. Sorry if I'm making you dizzy. And then I made this one with one of my punches. I have one of those, oh, where is it? It's on my punch wall. I can't find it right now. But it's like the blue one there. But it's that company, and I can't think of the name right now. Close to my heart? No, not close to my heart. Creative Memories. Creative Memories. Anyways, I did that shape. Octagon, I think. Anyways, I used all scraps, and I glued this onto a page. So this will not be an actual layout because I don't do layouts in this size. I kind of wish I had started in this size. It would have been so much easier. But at least I have a start to use this to maybe make either cards with it or put it on a layout. And I finished this one last night, and this was all scraps. I have done a mini album with that collection, and that was an old, here's the bag. This was everything that was left over from my mini album, which was this here too. And what was that company? My Mind's Eye, see? And I used the My Mind's Eye collection with a few other papers in that album. And so I kept everything that was left over. And then last night I punched squares with my square Stampin' Up! Punch. And then this one here, I sewed both in both angles across the sheet. And then I matted it on this dark gray. So I don't have much of that paper left, but I can't see myself using any more paper because it is so busy. But I could see myself using a very light gray, or maybe even a cream die cut from the Silhouette with my photo, and some solid cardstock as matting, and then a few maybe wood veneer embellishments, or some printing cuts, and maybe a few little, make my own embellishments with the little scraps here. But I'm not worried about having no more paper for this, because I do have a little bit of scraps here, and I am pretty proficient at making homemade embellishments also. I've made them quite often in the past, so I could use that to decorate this page here also. So I hope you enjoyed my video of my homemade backgrounds. I just like to make these and have them ready for when I go to crops. I go to usually about 3 a year. And when I'm stuck and I don't have any ideas, I just pull these out and I start with these, and it gets me going, it gets me flowing. And yeah, so I got all that bag to tackle, and hopefully I can come up with some more ideas with that. And I have a whole container right there full of scraps, and that's my cardstock scraps, and more cardstock scraps, and the other one is cardstock scraps for the bigger ones. So I'm a scrap queen. So I'll hope you like any of these ideas. Don't mind my messy desk. I guess that's the sign of someone that's creative. Okay, I'll talk to you later, and leave a comment if you want. All right, bye.